Hi, this is for our group development class, Communication 263, Collaborative Learning Community Presentation. The group members are Deanna Gill, Brooke Helvin, Emily Taylor, Angel McKinney, and Braden Byrne. Today on this Zoom call, we have Deanna, Brooke, and Emily. We're going to attach the YouTube link to our title page. Introduction to group development. What is group development? Group development is a process through which a team grows and changes as members work together toward a common goal. As group development, members build trust, improve communication, establish roles, and learn how to work effectively together. Understanding group development helps teams recognize challenges and important collaboration. Tuckman stages of group development. Tuckman identified 5 stages that most groups experience: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Why group development is important in communication and teamwork. Benefits of understanding group development: improves communication among team members, helps groups manage conflict in a productive way, encourages trust and collaboration, clarifies roles and responsibilities, increases overall team effectiveness and productivity. That's my part.
Am I the only one that can't hear her?
I can't hear her either. Brooke, we can't hear you. I thought you could hear her, so I didn't want to say anything. She'll figure it out, I think. So on the top keyboard, there's a button with a microphone on it that has a slash through it. You could try that one.
Okay, did it work now?
Yes, that was
Yes.
it. There you go. Yeah, okay. You had your microphone muted. Do you guys want to start over, or should we just, can you, do you think we should upload it like this just so you can see us working together? Well, it's okay then, Brooke. If you're next, just go ahead. We'll just upload it like this. You can see that we did teamwork and helped each other out.
Okay, that was kind of awkward. Okay, I'll be presenting about about all the stages since our other group members are gone. First is the forming stage. It's just where group members meet, get to know each other, introductions are made. This is where, group leaders kind of start to stick out, and then group goals and expectations, and then, roles are introduced. This is where kind of communication is bleak and people are mostly polite and cautious when they are in this stage, and members really rely on the instructor for direction in what they're doing or in next steps to take. And I mean, relationships are just getting started, so it's something that they have to develop. In our group, I mean, we kind of introduced ourselves in the discussion board, but we didn't really know each other at all. And I mean, we had to really review our assignment and look into what we needed to do. Everyone communicated pretty well, but we kind of learned some things from our first couple weeks. Our next stage is the storming stage. This is where group members start, sharing ideas and opinions of what we are doing. Kind of disagreements and conflicts can occur, but this comes to benefit us when we have conflicts because then we can, see both sides of the conversation and see where we need to be at. This is where communication starts to start getting better and better. And this is where our team members, we start learning how to solve problems together, and our leadership roles really start to, they just start to lead a lot more. You can really see what happens when they start leading and when the rest of the groups really lead into that. In this example, we really worked with like scheduling and availability and when people are online, when people aren't, work schedules, everything. And we had a lot of questions come up and we try and clarify them as much as we could. And in this stage, you really just have to be organized, try and solve problems as they come. And everyone is very respectful and focused on completing the project and doing so on time or as much as we could. The next stage is the norming stage. This is where team members establish, trust and cooperation. We're starting to know each other a lot more. And this is where members start to support one another and share ideas a lot more. We saw this a lot more in our last, week 3 this week. We kind of get to know, who likes to talk a lot, who likes to ask a lot of questions, and so it made our trust and cooperation a lot better. The responsibilities are clearly understood by this point, and so we can just get going on our project. And again, this is a crucial stage to really stay organized and be productive. The main thing is really just working through all of our everything that we need in like our presentation or in our document to be successful. And then one of our last stages is our performing stage. It's kind of what we are doing now by performing and doing our presentation. But it's also really working towards that goal and making sure, we have everything for the rubric. We have everything that we need for all of our assignments. And this is where our group members really start to solve some problems independently, but we have, more questions about, what does our final project look like? Are we done with it? What can we add to it to make it better? And this is where, accountability really comes in play. You see, what group members did all of their job, what group members kind of struggled, and really just helping everyone to finalize our project. And then obviously kind of performing and doing that. In our group, we really tried to stay before the deadline. That was something, we're kind of coming to the end, so we really needed to work on that. And then we really just had to go through our presentation and look for consistency, try and get everything uploaded in time, all that kind of last minute stuff that we had to do. And this really stage was a lot of communication and teamwork, trying to get everything done. It's really just takes a lot of time and working together. And then our last stage, the adjourning stage, kind of prepares you to disband in a way. This is when, group is kind of complete, all of its goals are, the project is completed, the team members get recognized for their hard work in some situations. And then what we did last week for our assignment, which is kind of evaluate every group member and really see who put in the work. And then at this point, you kind of transition more into ending the class, making sure you have everything done for that, and getting on to new classes. And this really matters because it helps members learn from experiences, learn on, what could I be better at if I could be a better leader, things like that. And this is really a nice stage for feedback too. It's kind of nice because it provides a lot of closure, and you can really see how the group has done as a whole. And with that, all of our stages are complete. So now we're on to the importance of group development. I mean, our group has significantly developed since we first started, so it's really fun to see how it's changed. As group members become more comfortable working together, our productivity increases by a lot, and we have to do so and to be able to achieve our goals and our objectives and everything. This can lead to having conversations and spreading more ideas, and even conflict at some points, but we have to kind of get over that in order to be able to really complete our project and just strive for being better. Understanding how everyone works is such a big part in what we do, especially because we do it online, so it's harder because we're not in person talking to each other or really doing any of that. We have to work with, what time are people online and all that stuff. So we really learned about, what behaviors and challenges to expect. And that was really some of our challenges we faced. Um, and making transitions go smoother and making the teams, be prepared to adapt to changes. This is, we had to adapt to, what we needed to do and what we needed to see in different weeks. Um, and we'll get more into that. And this is really also being successful, progressing through each stage of development, and making sure we stop in each stage and make sure, have we brainstormed enough for what we're going to accomplish. And this is really what leads into producing our good results.
Okay.
Okay.
Who
So this
who's
is
this? Okay, sorry.
wait, okay. This is how our group you could see group development in our group. In week one, we had the forming stage where we were getting to know each other. We were seeking out possible roles and going over the primary purpose of our group. Some of us even looked ahead to future assignments to help us get a better idea of what all it was going to take to be able to do our group. In week two was when the storming stage was most prominent, and usually week two would be norming. I felt like our group kind of skipped the norming stage a little bit. Um, we didn't exactly set expectations right away, and that came on to have some difficulties later. In week three, we kind of backtracked and we set expectations for what we expected and did the norming and performing stage in week three. Um, we were able to like be a lot more engaged from about week three on, I felt like. And then at the end of this week, week seven, we're gonna go through the adjourning stage, which will be just the end of the group and moving on from that. Challenges in our group, I would say were uneven participation, miscommunication on deadlines, the fact that we didn't set expectations right away. We kind of just tried to have a group without setting expectations. And then conflict about assignment responsibilities. Um, our group definitely had a lot of growth though too. I felt like we learned to talk through the conflicts, like when we didn't agree one week on one of the like I think it was the one of the weeks we didn't agree completely and like we were able to talk it through in the discussions and come to an agreement on who we wanted to pick to receive the scholarship. And then improved task organization was something that we definitely saw get better throughout our weeks. And then we learned the importance of team collaboration and not just relying on one person to get everything done. Is that it? Okay.
So is that just our three inputs to the project?
And then I was trying to go. So, in conclusion,
Okay.
our group had some rocky points, but we used those difficulties to learn. We went through most all of the stages that Tuckman had listed in his stages, and I think that throughout this time we were able to learn from our frustrations and confusions, and we have learned like better task organization and the importance of delegating tasks and how delegating those tasks and making sure we get our tasks done can help the group be more productive. Okay, now I'm not sure how to. There we go.
Well, that was really good, given it's just us three on here. Are we the only three that you were able to get assignments from?
Yeah.
Okay. You have me, Emily, and Brooke. So thank you.